This will be the video about Egyptian god Anubis, and this will be a short and comprehensive guide how to summon him, description of the deity, and the procedure. I need to give a disclaimer that majority of the things you will see here are the product of my personal gnosis, and some of the things I will say is verified by historiography. Some of the things I say is product of my personal channeling. My personal channeling information of this video is mostly focused on a ritual procedure, while the information about deity is technically something which is commonly known, but I kinda need to give introduction to the spirit himself. Now, who is Anubis? Technically, he is the guardian of the underworld and the judge of the dead. He isn't the lord of the dead. That title goes to Osiris. He is more guide to the underworld and to the realm of the underworld, and he judges the souls. So he is something like a Hermes figure, but not exactly. His personality is technically unique to the Egyptian mythology, and different figures are not necessarily found in other pantheons we are familiar with. So, what Anubis can be used for, and what is his function, and what is his day of the week and the hour. So, from the planetary associations, his probable attributes, from what I picked up, are Mercury and Saturn, and Pluto. In my opinion, it is mostly Mercury because he is kinda guide of the dead and guide into the underworld and keeper of the gates between gods of the underworld and men. So, in that role, he is kinda messenger of the gods, partially, and he is also the one who guides the dead, which gives him equivalence with Hermes, the Greek god of wisdom, who is also a little bit tricky, who is messenger of the gods but also a psychomorph. My personal experience with Hermes is that he is really secretive. The same can be said for Anubis. Anubis is also really secretive, and Anubis doesn't want to reveal his secrets to everybody. He seems to be really picky with whom he is working with. Now, technically speaking, I received this information about Anubis. He is summoned either the best hour to summon him are either hours of Saturn or hours of Mercury. From what I experienced, the hour of Mercury would be a better hour. His favorite offerings are bones of the dead people, dog meat, blood, wheat, bread, and honey. He can be summoned for wealth, protection, spiritual empowerment, and exorcism. Now, I will give you the way to summon him. So, before you summon Anubis, or try to summon him, you should, indeed, prepare yourself by developing your astral senses. I do not recommend summoning such a spirit before astral senses are developed. I beg my audience to first develop astral senses through some exercises presented on this channel, or through other means, before approaching any advanced gods or spirits. So, with that cleared, I will present to you a method to raise a sacred space for the presence of Anubis, and then I will give you the chant to summon the deity. Why do you need to raise the sacred space? I talked about it many times on this channel. Technically, the point of raising the sacred space is to prepare the area for the presence of the deity and also to make sure that no imposters will appear in your ritual. I channeled a magical hymn to raise a sacred space, and that's technically something which we need to consider. Now, how this hymn is used? First, you enter into a meditative state by breathing slowly, and then you vibrate the word of a hymn over and over again, while visualizing and focusing on necromantic dark green energy rising as a protective barrier around your sacred space. You will see the magical hymn on the screen, but I will pronounce it for you in this video. Artava Anubis ere, Irtave Anubis nati, Anubis terra alumene. I channeled the hymn, so I do not know the meaning. It is technically in a barbarous tongue, but it is similar to different chants I channeled in the past. Now, you won't be able to see the energy unless your astral sight is really developed, but you will definitely be able to feel it. So, rhythmically breathe and chant the incantation presented beforehand until you can literally feel that necromantic protective energy radiating from the edges of what you consider your sacred space, and then you are ready to proceed into the next phase of this ritual. Now, after you rose the sacred space, what you should do is you should simply relax in a sacred space for a time and focus on summoning the spirit or summoning the deity. After you accumulated significant concentration, then it is the time to start chanting to summon the actual spirit. So, let's talk about summoning the spirit right now. I channeled a magical chant for summoning of Anubis. For the purpose of this video, you will see it on the screen, but I will pronounce it right now for the sake of clarity. The magical chant is Anubis neter kemetum. So, after you rose the sacred space, and after you also relaxed within the same sacred space, repeat this magical chant over and over again and visualize a man dressed in ancient Egyptian clothing with the jackal's head. Something similar to what you see on the screen. Chant over and over again. If you do it for over half of an hour, you will definitely feel strong presence of the spirit through visualization and chant within a sacred space. When you give spirit, a deity, a request, give it in a humble tone. You can give offerings from one of the things given to you in this video. It doesn't have to be a big amount. It can be symbolic, just to represent your dedication to the cause together with the deity. Your request should be given in a humble tone, and technically speaking, I got the information that if one wants to work with Anubis long term, he should summon him at least 3 nights in a row and ask Anubis to initiate the person. That's what I got. That's the information I received. So, if you are willing to go with Anubis on this ride, develop your astral senses, and then you can follow the instructions from this video or you can follow the instructions for some other video for this matter. I never worked with Anubis extensively, but all of my experiences with him were extremely intense. He seems to be a really secretive spirit, difficult to understand or comprehend. I really appreciate his empowerment and guidance, and I will probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow publish a meditation to Egyptian god Anubis. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Peace out.